Hi, my name's Mauafu. I'm married to Te Whao. I was from Mauafu. I started at Trinity on Worcester Street, and I've actually been here for 48 years. It's a long time. And my parents came to Christchurch. They came in the early 1960s. There's four of us. I'm still my mother still goes here. My father passed away at 86. And there's three of us that still live in Christchurch, and one that lives in Hamilton. But I'm still an active member out of the four of us. I've been involved in Sunday school. I went to Sunday school here. I became a Sunday school teacher, and I'm still a Sunday school teacher. I got married here. I'll get back to that one. I was in the alternate role. My children were in the alternate high. I was in the alpha-bese, but when I had my first child, I thought, oh, a great opportunity to escape from alpha-bese. I started in the alpha-bese. Actually, I had fond memories of the alpha-bese. I started in the, oh yes, with Rosie Levy. And if you ever look at the photo, there's Rosie and I sitting at the sides. I started in the alto, and then I moved, when I got older, I moved to the soprano. But I actually have a fond memory when we used to have beses, aonga bese, and I used to sit with Sui or Samoa, but we didn't really bese a lot, so poor Si'u Whenika had to separate us, and in those days it was divided, the chairs were divided, and so she used to have to sit on the other side and I used to sit on the other side. And then we used to try and work our way back. It was, yeah, and then Si'u used to be always onto it. And so, I still remind her, she goes, oh yeah, and she's still in the alpha-bese, but I'm not. And then when I moved to the soprano, I used to sit with Mauafu, Te Rari. Oh, she's a classic. Because when you're meant to be soprano, but Mauafu used to sing alto. I mean, who does that? Sits in the E, in the soprano, and sings alto. But that was alright because she was sitting with me, so I used to think, well, that's okay. Like I said, I got married in this church, 1990, 13th of January. And if you ask my husband, he won't know. So we've been married for 24 years. Been together 26, married 24. We've got 3 lovely kids, all baptised here at St. Paul's. I can remember Wesley actually walking up to get baptised because he was over a year old. So he just walked up. And that's a classic, not many of them usually walk up. Ato Whangalenguelu, he was our officiating minister. We had 150 people invited to our wedding. Of the 150, I'm sure it got to 200, typical Samoan wedding, just like yourself. But it was a lovely day. I've seen a lot of ministers go through St. Paul's, and I must admit one of my favourite, shouldn't say favourite, but my favourite Balangi minister was Reverend Bourne. I remember one of his sermons, and it was just really touched me because it was about the inner city, and he was just focusing on how us as a church should reach out to those people that used to just come and use our church grounds, our car parks, not for God's work, but for other work. And it really touched me when he preached about that, because you could just see that it really meant a lot to him. So yeah, he was my favourite Balangi minister. My favourite Samoan minister, I don't have one. They're all the same. There's a lot of memories. At Trinity, I remember falling asleep in the afternoon service. Well, it was the afternoon service. I used to always fall asleep on my dad. I used to have a cup of tea in the hall, and I used to go and place myself on someone's knee. Probably didn't know who it was, but at least I was getting food, so that was the main thing. What else? Yeah, there's a lot of memories. Tiana touched on a few memories up when she did her sharing this morning, and it was just lovely how she put it across. My memory at the moment, my sort of favourite memory at the moment now is my son being committed to church. He's just so out there, and I love that because we didn't have to pressure him, and yeah, so that's my favourite memory at the moment is my children enjoying church, especially my youngest. As I say to my family, my favourite son. So if you know me, you know what I mean. For our future generation of St. Paul's, I just want to share that we should stay as a real close unit and focus what our purpose is for St. Paul's. It's the togetherness that I really enjoy, and I think that as a church, as St. Paul's, that we should continue with that and just support each other. We're going to go through a lot of difficult times as we move from this site to the new site, but God's always with us, and I know that we'll struggle, but I know at the end it's just gonna it's for His glory. It's no one else, it's for God's glory. So yeah, but for our young people, I really want you guys to stay focused and remember that this is a church that your parents started at, and continue what they were working at and are still working at. So yes, that's my sharing for St. Paul's.